Yo, 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 Big Kitch back up in here. There's a lot of news going on out in this world, and I'm going to tell you, much of it is revolving around Drake. Hey, we got to get it, y'all, man. Hey, look, the world is still talking about Drake, man. We got to cover this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, he's spiraling, y'all. And this video right here, shouts out to The Petty Show. The truth about his 360 deal. Man, you got Drake fans making videos now saying that, look, they saying everything we've been saying this whole time. They starting to come out. And this is beautiful work. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. But you know I don't like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
So if Drake says a few words on a song, Universal Music Group owns that. What did Kendrick do? Kendrick Lamar took his copyrights off of his own music so people could use that and make money off of it. So you can see clearly who's for the people and who's not.
Whatever he got with Universal, I don't trust it. I'ma just tell you, I do not trust that big headline that went out about 400, 500 million a year. And it's weird, it's wrong.
In what regard?
Nobody's at his level towards that much. You don't.
Unless you have to.
Unless you have to do it.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
So Drake just got hit with a copyright strike from his own label, Universal Music Group, after dropping some unreleased tracks, including collabs with 21 Savage and Latto, as part of his 100 gigs data dump. And now rumors are flying that there's some major tension brewing between Drake and UMG behind the scenes. But here's the kicker. There's not much Drizzy can do about it because he reportedly signed that huge 360 deal with UMG back in 2021. So basically, UMG owns him, and he can't make a move without their approval. And insiders are saying that this is why Drake's been spiraling lately. Apparently, he's in a pretty bad headspace because, despite all his success, he doesn't actually own any of his music. And every time he wants to release something new, he's got to run it by UMG first. But fans aren't exactly shedding any tears for Drake. A lot of them are saying,
That ain't what Academics said. Academics said he ain't got to run no music through UMG. Academics said they trust him so much that he could just drop.
this is his karma for being more focused on the money than the actual love of hip-hop or the culture. So what's really happening between Drake and UMG? Is Drake spiraling because he sold his soul to the label and now he's stuck? Let's break it all down.
Kendrick Lamar don't like the industry, particularly because the industry robs artists all the time. If Drake was smart and really that powerful of an artist and actually believed in himself, he could have went independent and pocketed all of that money for himself. But he loves the industry. That's how I see it.
The ugly truth about the 360 deal. All right, let's break down what a 360 deal is and why it's a big deal. So basically, a 360 deal is like a package deal between an artist and a music company. The company agrees to back the artist financially, helping with everything from advances in marketing to promotion and touring. In return, the artist has to share a slice of almost every pie: digital streaming, live performances, merch sales, endorsement deals, you name it, the company gets a cut. Unlike the old school contracts, where artists kept most of their personal revenue streams separate, a 360 deal means the company gets a piece of pretty much everything. But there's a catch. The company usually throws more money and support up front, which sounds great, but it also means they expect a lot in return. Why did this happen? Well, around the early 2000s, the music industry saw profits from recorded music tank, and the once fat profit margins vanished. Enter the 360 deal. It was the industry's way of grabbing a share of what had been the artist's private moneymakers, like concerts, sponsorships, and merch sales. This was their attempt to stay afloat when the old revenue streams were drying up. However, critics of 360 deals say that record labels often get the better end of the bargain. They argue that these deals can end up exploiting artists by grabbing a bigger slice of.
Of course they getting a better end of the bargain, because while you sitting up there doing raps, you writing raps, you doing all that stuff, these people are at a table trying to figure out what they can get out of you. That's what the devil do. While you sleep, while you at home with your family or whatever, these people are sitting down with paperwork, faxing each other paperwork, ideas, sitting down at a table, trying to figure out how could they enslave you? This is what they do. They do it to the people too. This is not just with music. They do it to the people too. They're figuring out, okay, how could we get these robots in Walmart? How could we get these people at home to just stay inside the house? What could we invent? What could we do? They always thinking of things to enslave the people. Always.
Of their earnings while not always delivering the support or transparency that was promised. Sure, labels might offer some nice cash up front, but the way the revenue is split can seriously cut into an artist's earnings over time. Even if an artist blows up, they could end up making less than expected, especially if they get stuck relying on advances and struggling to cover the costs of all that marketing and promo. Another major downside is the loss of creative control. In a 360 deal, artists might feel pressured to follow the label's lead, cranking out music that fits whatever commercial trend the label's pushing. This can water down their artistic voice and hold them back from really connecting with their fans. Over the years, we've seen a lot of artists, especially black artists, speaking out about feeling trapped in these exploitative record deals. Even some of the biggest artists of all time, like Michael Jackson and Prince, had to fight tooth and nail to gain ownership of their music. And MJ even worried that his life was in danger because of his lucrative catalog. And to add insult to injury, these labels found a way to exploit them even after they passed. The crazy part is that Michael was genuinely terrified for his life and tried to warn his family that powerful figures were out to get him for his music catalog.
How do you think he died? You've been quoted as saying you believe it may have been murder. Do you still think that?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why are you so sure?
I would never, ever think differently. Because first of all, Michael told me that they were going to murder him. He was afraid.
That's when he was surrounding himself with the NOI and all that. Y'all remember when Michael Jackson was taking pictures with the Muslims and all of that? He was trying to get protection.
Afraid for his life. The people that were involved in his life, the people that were controlling him, life, where people come into your life, wiggle their way in, control you, manipulate, control your funds, your finances, everything that you have, and you must do what they tell you to do. And that's what Michael was going through. And he knew that everything that was happening to him was not kosher, it wasn't right, and it disturbed him greatly. And he kept saying it over and over and over again.
As for Prince, he also wasn't shy about calling out his label Warner Brothers, and he spent decades fighting for the ownership of his masters.
The reason why it became such a big deal back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise. And they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair.
I'm telling you, when it come down to business and these people or these executives and all of that stuff, compassion and empathy and stuff, they don't have it. It's not built inside of them. You ever see somebody you like, damn, this person's struggling. I feel bad. They never think like that, ever. Never. It's not in them to think like that. And I'm telling you, man, these are Satan's children.
Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. It shouldn't be a situation where they own the album or the work. We're talking about intellectual copyright. If they're going to be indeed a delivery service, then that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't say that they own the thing that they ship, right? Because ultimately it keeps
that's a good
us apart.
point. That's a good point.
It keeps the people in power. My elders up in here, let's talk about all this. Distribution service. I mean, what do we really need record companies for? I mean, really.
Damn.
In 2014,
he predicted it. What do we need them for? All y'all independent artists, I'm telling y'all, man, all that stuff be looking good. You get your distribution, you get out there more, and it ain't even worth it, bro. Just stay by yourself.
Prince finally got control of his masters. However, less than 2 years later, he suddenly passed from a suspected OD. Sure, it might be a coincidence, but with everything we know about the entertainment industry, it's hard not to be suspicious. But let's get back to Drake and his...
Bro, all the celebrities tell you about Prince, bro. He was active. Y'all remember that Dave Chappelle skit when he was playing basketball and all of that stuff? Bro, that stuff was real, man. He was like, yo, just like Cat Williams. Man, these dudes be active, bro. Active. Ain't anybody OD, man.
Deal with Universal Music Group. Is Drake caught in a similar web of control with UMG? And how does this all tie into his ongoing drama with Kendrick Lamar? Drake's UMG contract. So back in 2021, there was a lot of buzz about Drake landing a huge deal with Universal Music Group, rumored to be between $400 and $500 million. Drake himself dropped some not-so-subtle hints in his track Major Distribution that his deal is on a whole different level. With lines like 500 million just for Aubrey, he was basically flaunting that he's got way more freedom and perks compared to other artists. But wait, there's more. Rumor has it, or some would say a conspiracy theory, that Drake's getting special treatment in the rap game because of his cultural background. Some folks are saying that his unique position and connections might be giving him an edge over other artists.
This has never happened before. Say every Jew is going to just like really embrace. Well, here's the thing. There are Jews like my dad who like cling to like the biggest reaches. Yeah. Like, you know who's Jewish? Matt Damon. I'm like, no, he's not, Dad. He's definitely not Jewish. And like people reach, and the fact that you actually identify, that's gonna be like, that's gonna be big. Yeah, it's gonna be. You're doing something that I could never do.
There was also this short clip from an interview with the Universal Music Group CEO who said that Drake can get any amount of money he asks for from the label.
Stay scheming, Drake says. Tell Lucy and I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Tell Lucy and I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
Oh, bro, that's the first time I ever heard him speak. He sound like he Australian or something like that. Damn. He said whenever Drake called me and asked me for some more money, I give it to him. That mean they already know. Okay, that mean he gonna make it back, and we own him. We own him. Damn.
But here's where the story takes a dark turn. So remember when Kendrick dropped those allegations about Drake and his OVO crew supposedly being certified PDF files? Well, if you've been keeping up with Kendrick's other diss tracks beyond the viral Not Like Us, you might have noticed that he's been hinting at something even crazier. He seemingly hinted that this rumored PDF file ring might not just stop with Drake and his crew. It could be reaching all the way up to the top and Drake's label bosses. Remember those lines on Meet the Grams where Kendrick goes, I've been in this industry 12 years. I'ma tell y'all one little secret. It's some weird-ish going on and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of their home and calling them tender, then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. Damn. And then Kendrick said that Drake's Toronto mansion,
he talking about that monkey app stuff right there. That's crazy.
Nicknamed the Embassy, is about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. Here Kendrick was of course referencing the March raids on Diddy's properties in LA and Miami, suggesting that Drake is involved in the same type of depraved stuff Diddy is currently being investigated for. Basically, Kendrick wasn't just throwing shade at Drake, he was hinting at something bigger going on behind the scenes in the industry. Basically, Kendrick wasn't just throwing shade at Drake, he was hinting at something bigger going on behind the scenes in the industry. And then on Not Like Us, he made it clear he can go further down the rabbit hole if provoked again. But hold up, because there are some other dots we need to connect. It's interesting that Kendrick referenced the raids on Diddy's houses because guess who was named in one of the Diddy lawsuits as a rumored accomplice and enabler? None other than the same Universal Music Group CEO who said Drake can get any amount of money he asks for. So do you recall that lawsuit against Diddy filed by producer Rodney Lil?
If y'all was looking at the TikTok that we did I think it was the week before last or last week or something like that, at the end you had Judge Joe Brown letting us know why they raided Diddy crib, bro. It was because Diddy got some evidence. He got some videos of the higher uppers, you know what I'm saying? And it's some crazy situation, bro. They had to get that up out of him.
Lil Rod Jones back in February. It was a standout case among the many legal troubles Diddy has faced because it included a whole list of defendants and alleged accomplices, with UMG CEO Lucian Grange being one of them. In his lawsuit, Lil Rod even hinted that there might be something more going on between Lucian and Diddy. The lawsuit states, Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Grange visiting Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida and Los Angeles, California. According to Mr. Jones, whenever defendant Grange visited Mr. Combs at his homes, it would be in the evening, and he and Mr. Combs would disappear for hours in Mr. Combs' bedroom. The lawsuit then went on to claim that Grange sponsored and attended several Love album listening parties where ex-workers were present, along with women below the age. But Lil Rod didn't stop there. He also alleged that during his time living and traveling with Diddy, he discovered that Diddy had hidden cameras in every room of his house. And according to Lil Rod, Diddy has recordings not just of Grange.
You gotta think, throughout history, other nations of men always been infatuated with black women, bro. They always been infatuated with our women, always. And who else that could reel these type of women in? A hip hop star. You got to connect these dots. This stuff is real, man.
But many other powerful public figures, from celebrities and athletes to label executives and politicians. Lil Rod also alleged that Grange, together with other defendants, aided, abetted, and induced Sean Combs' ex-trafficking venture, and he describes him as one of the co-conspirators who provided vast sums of cash, which made Diddy's criminal venture possible. However, fast forward to May, and news broke that Universal Music Group and their CEO will be removed from Lil Rod's lawsuit. And this was kind of expected considering that Universal Music Group is the largest music label in the world, so these are some powerful people Lil Rod tried to drag down with Diddy. But just when UMG thought they dodged the bullet in Lil Rod's lawsuit, guess what happened? That same month, Kendrick's feud with Drake started to heat up. Now at first, it seemed like just another regular rap rivalry. However, Kendrick was warning Drake not to spread lies about him unless he was ready for his own skeletons to come out. And yet, Drake just kept stirring the pot and dragging Kendrick's family into the mix. And that's how we ended up with Kendrick absolutely annihilating Drake. But Kendrick didn't just brand Drake a certified PDF file. He also threatened to dig even deeper, potentially exposing the whole industry. And you can bet UMG heard him loud and clear. The last thing Lucian Grange needed after managing to wriggle his way out of Lil Rod's lawsuit was to get dragged into the drama surrounding Drake and OVO. But let's be real, it's not just about their reputation here. UMG's main concern is, and always has been, you guessed it, profit. After all, they handed Drake a whopping $500 million for that 360 deal, one of the biggest deals in music history. So it goes without saying that UMG absolutely cannot afford to have Drake's career go up in flames over these allegations, because that would mean losing their golden goose. However, it looks like Drake's playing with fire again. It seems Kendrick really got under his skin, and Drake's been making some risky moves lately, including that massive 100 gigabyte data leak. See? That leak included some unreleased songs, which means UMG had to swoop in and remind Drake who's really in charge. UMG warns Drake. Drake recently caused a major stir with the surprise release of 100 gigs, dropping a ton of unreleased footage and fresh collabs.
Yeah, we know about that. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I will leave a link in the description. That's The Petty Show. And it's crazy because we got these youngins out here that really want a deal and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's good that these type of songs is coming out from Kendrick Lamar, exposing the industry. We need more like him. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is wild. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Subscribe, like, subscribe, put a comment. Big Kish signing out. I'm gone, man.